Welcome to the Sexy Diva World podcast. I'm your host, Charlene, on a platform committed to a world that transforms the listening of powerful females. Our show will cover topics to empower and inspire females to discover and be their authentic self and create a life that they love. I'm your host, Charlene. Welcome to the Sexy Diva World podcast. I am committed to transforming the listening of powerful females. We showcase powerful women doing powerful things. On this podcast, we're going to discuss all things women and all things sexy. Listen, I know you're ready to unleash your sexy diva. So if you're ready to unleash your sexy diva, embrace self-love, and create a life that you love, please subscribe to this channel. So join me, grab your glass of sexy love, and let's explore why breathwork is sexy. Welcome our guest, Francisca. She's our breathwork expert and sexy diva. So, hi, Francisca. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to talk about breathwork and how it can help people, especially women, transform their lives. And talk about how breathwork is pretty much something that I think everybody needs in their lives if they want to make massive change and transform their lives.
Wow, that's powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that. What is breathwork and what are some of the benefits of
Yeah, of course. So breathwork is an umbrella term for any intentional breathing.
breath?
So if you just say, I need to take a deep breath, I need to center myself, that in itself is breath work. There's so many different types of techniques that breath work falls under. But the type of breath work that I do is conscious connected breathing. And there are so many benefits to breath work. I can go like on and on for days, but just really quickly, the breath work that I do really helps to reset your nervous system, really helps to reset your emotional system. And for some people can heal really old wounds, get things out that we're carrying around with us. And as women, right, we carry around so much stuff, responsibility that's probably not even ours to begin with. And so the type of breath work that I do can really help do that. The type of breath work I would say that I do is not calming. It is very intense and it can be intense for some people. But the after effects is usually what helps people feel this sense of relief and calm. And yeah, helps them express themselves. There's so many spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional benefits of breath work. But yeah, I'd love to take this conversation wherever you feel we can have the most impact for the women that are listening to this because like I said, I think we carry on so much emotion, so much stress.
Yes.
We are responsible for ourselves, but many of us are responsible for other people as well, whether that's a business, a project, our family, our friends, our pets.
The whole household.
Yeah, the whole household. So if we take care of ourselves, we can really take care of the people that we love. And most women I know have that responsibility of wanting to take care of themselves and wanting to take care of people that they love. So
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest benefits of breath work is that you get to really transform yourself, transform who you are, and really build a resiliency and tolerance to stress, and really learn how to navigate that and get in touch with your intuition.
Right.
Yeah.
The coolest thing, well, it's not the coolest thing, but one of the things that I realized is that when you're dealing with trauma or some people have blockage that they're not even aware that they have,
Yes.
it's in your blind spot, right? Everybody else can see it, but you don't know that it's there. It's just the one thing that has you stopped from going to the next level. And what I love about the breath work and energy work and all the things that we'll be doing at the Self Love and Sisterhood Summit is we're tapping into things that may not be conscious to you, that you may not be aware of. We're able to help you access that and then release it, right?
Yes. No, I love that you said that. As soon as you said that, like my heart started getting excited because we are carrying so much stuff around. We're not aware of it.
Yeah.
And sometimes other people can see it, yes, but sometimes we're so good at hiding that from ourselves that we can hide it from other people too.
Yeah.
And so often people will come to me and they'll be like, I need to work on this specific thing, right?
Mhm.
We get in there, we start doing breath work, and then they realize that the thing that they wanted to work on was so much deeper. And usually, what it boils down to is this feeling of self love, this feeling of um, really strength and courage that comes from within, this feeling of tapping into their intuition, basically trusting themselves. So, yeah, we carry around so many blocks we don't know that we're carrying around, and breathwork helps to do that. And I'm so excited that I get to be part of your summit to help transform the lives of so many women at one time.
Right.
You know, when you do breathwork on a one-on-one basis, it's powerful. Sometimes people need access to breathwork in a group setting. And I'm so happy to be able to do that. And you know, if you plan on coming or you're on the fence about coming to the summit, I think that you should really give that a good look because you're just going to have so many different people there available to help transform your life. And I think breathwork is one of those things that can really help you do that.
Yeah, that's why we selected you to be a part of the summit because I just know that who you are is so in alignment with the summit. You know, women have an opportunity to heal, go on their own self healing and self love journey. And you want to share a little bit about how you started your healing journey? What was that like for
Yeah, I would say that if you knew me back in 2017, you may not have envisioned me sitting here with somebody like Charlene and talking about self healing because I was doing everything but self healing. I was self harming.
you? Yeah.
So if you know, talk about drugs like alcohol, drugs and alcohol. Smoking pot. I was a habitual pot smoker since the age of 12. I was doing cocaine, binging on cocaine, binging on drinking. I would say there probably wasn't a day that I wasn't high or drunk in the background since 2015. So basically, high and drunk in the background. Maybe some people knew it, most people didn't. I was highly functioning, I was able to hold a job. So people may have looked at me and been like, "You're not somebody who does that." But I was. I was self harming. I was numbing, not listening to my intuition at all. Then, as a series of events happened, I basically almost bled to death, which brought me to really reevaluating my life. I wouldn't say I was grateful to be alive when I got pumped with 6 pints of blood.
Wow.
It took a while for me to get to this place of gratitude and just really understand that life was worth living and not just existing. I had the help of a career coach who helped me open up my intuition. Before that, I became Reiki certified with the help of my career coach. I was able to really listen to my intuition, really listen to what I needed in my life, what I wanted in my life, more importantly, and what my soul really wanted.
Yes.
Yes. And
Yes.
then deep down inside, what happened was that I realized that all this stuff that I had been putting in my life, all of the taking care of other people, using that as a sense to numb, taking care of my family and my friends, and overworking and showing up 100%, 120%, 150%, giving more to everybody else didn't leave any room for myself. And so all of these thoughts and feelings were clouded by my responsibility to everybody else. And what really came out of this transformation for me was the fact that I needed to heal myself first because I have this really soft spot in my heart that I want to heal other people. I want to help other people heal, but I couldn't do that until I actually did it for myself.
Right.
And so that led to Reiki, that led to a mindfulness based stress reduction course, that led to meditation guide, that led to being a restorative yoga teacher or a yoga teacher. I wasn't restorative yoga trained at that point. Certified aromatherapist, then a Reiki master. Then eventually I got led to breath work, which
Wow.
was life changing for me.
Wow. Oh, that's awesome. You know what comes to mind is how did you go from drugs and almost dying to I need a career coach? Right?
Yeah.
Because people, people like everybody is a coach now.
Yes.
And people think, oh, that's just fluff. But you really transformed your life having a coach.
Yeah. Yes. So 100%. So I actually wanted to get a career coach when I was still binging drugs and doing and smoking pot. Like I wanted to change in my life. I was an office manager at the time, and I am really good at being an admin person. I'm really good at getting shit done. Like I am so good at that. I also knew that that's where my heart was really not calling me towards. Like, just because you're good at something doesn't mean that that's where your, like Guy Hendricks says, your zone of genius is. That was my zone of excellence, and so I was really great at that. I would think I would say the best at it. But what in the background there was this feeling of wanting to have freedom, financial freedom, time freedom, more specifically. And again, that deep need to help other people. And I just didn't know where that came from. A lot of that was codependency, right? And so I started looking into what was my passion, because I was like, if I want to do something, like, how do I figure out what my passion is? And I Googled what is my passion, and I found a quiz. It was the Passion Profile quiz by this coaching group called Clarity on Fire. And so I had them in my inbox. Like they would send emails, they would, weekly newsletters and things like that. But I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. And it wasn't until I started meditating, and I would meditate when I was high to get myself back down to earth. It didn't work very well, or I would fall asleep throughout the meditation. And so I've been meditating since 2015. So it was a couple of years until I actually got to the point where I could start listening to myself. And actually, the morning that I almost died, I did a meditation to help give me strength, because I shouldn't have even been able to walk into the hospital. So there was all these things that I was putting in the background, like project management, trying to figure out like how it can work from home. Again, this freedom that I was really looking for. And it wasn't until a few months after I got my blood transfusion, and a few months after I had a hysterectomy, that I was able to start coaching. So not start coaching, but start getting coached. And that just really helped me understand what I wanted deep down inside. And so I thought I was going in for a career coach, and she did help me with my career, but it was really life transforming.
Right.
And so how you get to that point, I don't suggest almost dying. Like I really don't. Like please don't do that. I don't suggest running yourself into the ground, but some people, especially people like me, are really hard-headed, and we really need that experience to help us get to and understand what's really going on in life, and understand what is really important. Had I not had that life-changing circumstance, I may not be here. And sometimes it takes a lot for people to do that. And had it been given to me any other way, I don't think I would have taken it. I don't think that I would have taken it. I had to feel my way into it, which is another superpower of mine, to be able to feel things, which helps me. And I found out later on that sensitivity, that high sensitivity, that empathic, yes, it's a gift, and that is what helps me now today in my work.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with anything is just really choosing. This is your life, right? Really choosing, like, I want to create a life that I love, right? And you don't have to go to the near death and be forced to do it. There's power in choosing to create a life that you love. This is why we are doing this podcast. This is why we've had this platform, is to really empower and inspire women to create a life that you love. I believe, and all of our team really believe that every woman should love herself, love her life, and create a life that she loves, right? So this is access to do it. Once you choose a life that you love, then it's just taking inspired actions to have that happen.
Yes, I love that you said that. Taking the inspired action is what has really helped me transform my life. And it's also what I've seen help transform my clients' lives too. Taking inspired action, some people may hear that and be like, well, how do I do that? How do I get quiet? How do I listen? There's so many ways that you can do that. But I want to touch on something that you said about loving ourselves, because for some people that feels really great and really empowering, but for some people it scares them. It really scares them. And that's why I think people stay stuck. That's why I stayed stuck. So if you're listening to this and you're wondering, like, well, how do I love myself? Like, that's all good and well. There's so many ways to do that. You just have to find the right avenue for yourself. Um, and it can be painful to move away from what you've known for so long. It can be painful to move away from that. But there is some strength and resiliency that comes with making that choice, taking that inspired action, and really moving forward and just sitting and listening to yourself. What is it that you need? Even if it's 5 seconds in the morning, putting your hand to your heart and saying, what do I need today? Just for 5 seconds, 5 seconds. You'd be surprised because that 5 seconds adds up and it adds up and it adds up. And then you're able to kind of start listening to yourself, start listening to those clues from within, even if it's something just as small as, you know what, today I feel like I just really want to take, a few moments for myself. I want to take the long way home. I need some time to just listen to my body, or just need some time to de-stress. Those are very small ways that you can do that, and you can start listening, because that's the first step to take inspired action, because you can't take inspired action if you have no inspiration.
Right. And it basically just starts with getting connected with yourself. Getting connected. A lot of people talk about mindset, but it's really getting connected with your heart. Your heart is, that's your heart is where it's all at. So taking that minute, putting your hand on your heart, and just being connected, even if you don't say a word, if you don't ask for anything, just feel the rhythm of the heart. It starts there, getting connected with your heart. How is healing and transformation the ripple effect? How can people use that and break in the cycle?
Yeah. So when we heal ourselves, when we show up for ourselves, that really sets an example to the people that we love. If you have kids, if you have a family, brothers and sisters, or if you work with people, when people start seeing your change, when people start seeing your transformation, it really gives people the permission to be able to do that for themselves. I think that we're we're such we're such a collective of groups. We're such a collective of souls, right? And even though we're individual people, we have such a great impact on other people. When we see somebody that looks like us, when we see somebody that came from maybe the same situation that we did, or the same background that we did, and we see them succeed, we see them transform, we see them become healthier in their lives, that gives us a permission, like, hey, if they did that, I can do that too, and so that is one way that it's a ripple effect. But when you start healing yourself, when you start taking care of yourself, you really start sending that message out to other people too. And you have no idea what one thing that you say can really help to change somebody else's life. And that person then maybe goes on to change somebody else's life. And then that person may go on to change somebody else's life. So there is this ripple effect that happens when you start being kinder to yourself, when you start healing yourself. And I believe that that's what healing is for me. It's being kinder to yourself, listening to yourself, really taking those steps to be whole. I mean, we are already whole. We are already healed. It's just that we have so much stuff, so many limitations, whether they're perceived limitations or limitations that have actually been put in our lives, that if we start kind of peeling those off one by one, we can really get to this place of resiliency and be all the stronger for it.
Yeah, that's so fantastic. I want to just touch on what you said about the healing. One of the reasons why we're doing the Self-Love and Sisterhood Summit is because we know that there's childhood trauma that, that impacts everything you do. It impacts who you be, how you show up. And so, we talk about day one, releasing trauma and limiting beliefs that keeps you stuck. We talk about transformation, transforming your health, habits, your mindset so that you can achieve the body you desire. We talk about really emerging in your feminine energy, being who you authentically are, which is a sexy diva, right? And then we have speakers that's going to empower you to transcend beyond all limits and create a life you love. You literally will be leaving the summit with a 90-day blueprint for a life that you love. And you can take that blueprint and go off and implement that. And we have support groups to support the ones who feel like they need support to execute each week their goal. But it's really taking your power back and taking your life and putting it in your hands and really knowing and honoring that you deserve a life that you love. And it's really, just making that one decision.
Yeah.
One decision.
Yeah.
So, what processes do you have to help women heal?
Yeah, so I love that you asked that because one of my favorite things to do in my studio, Breathe, Connect, Thrive, is to take people through a 2-hour emotional healing process where we use tarot. I'm a tarot reader as well. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. We use Reiki to kind of check where the chakras are, check where the misalignments are, see where we need to realign the chakras and get that energy flowing. And then we use breath work. Breath work, I think, by far has been one of the most powerful tools and most impactful tools that I have in my tool belt. And it is my mission to make sure as many people as I can share this with, I'll share it with. Breathwork is such an amazing tool that helps to kind of unearth that trauma. Again, it's something that is that is not calming at first. It can be really intense because it's really scary to go into your feelings sometimes. It's scary to face that, and everybody has a different reaction to that, right? But I also use aromatherapy to kind of help set the mood. And yeah, and then we have a talking process afterwards. And one of the things that I do with breath work is I think music is so healing. I think music has been something that has been impactful in my life. And so if we have a one-on-one session, then you get the option to submit songs to me. 3 songs that make you feel grateful, 3 songs that make you feel emotional, 3 songs that make you feel motivated. Because the first 8 to 12 minutes of breath work, it can be a little challenging. So we want to get your mood right for that. And then, yeah, the tarot helps to pull up any themes that might be going on in your life. Each card tells a story on its own. Together, they tell a story about what your journey is at this specific time. Then you lay down and you do some breath work. I'll do Reiki in between that time, and then we'll do a session afterwards. We'll do another tarot draw, a quick tarot draw to kind of check to see how your energy is shifted. And it's so amazing to see that because typically what happens is what comes up before is like all these problems and issues that you're dealing with that you may be aware of on the subconscious mind but not have at the forefront, and then the breath work really helps to kind of get that out of your body, get it out of your system. The Reiki helps to kind of balance the chakras to see where you're at with your energy, and then afterwards most people leave feeling so much lighter. They leave unearthing something that they thought they were coming in for, but again, it goes deeper. We go to the deeper. We're not dealing with surface level stuff here,
Right.
and it helps to build this resiliency and this strength and this feeling of power. Um, Sometimes people are just tired of letting go of stuff. They're like, I'm done letting go. I'm ready to thrive. I'm ready to move forward. And that's what the breath work can help you do. It can help you thrive. But those are some of the things that I have in my tool belt. I'm also a restorative yoga teacher. So I do restorative yoga classes. I also offer yin and nidra classes. So these are the slower, more feminine types of yoga. And I used to teach the hatha and the vinyasa yoga before. But I realized that that really wasn't my style, especially with breathwork being so releasing. I wanted something that helps to nourish, and I feel like that's what the restorative yoga, the yin yoga, and the nidra yoga does. It gives you back. It gives back to you. It's more of a receptive versus the breathwork is a releasing. So I've combined those together too. I do chakra workshops as well. I do tarot workshops. So an essential oil workshop. So I feel like all of those really go well together.
Yeah. You guys, she's going to be at the summit, and you guys are going to get to experience her breath work and Reiki and some of the other stuff that she offers. So, um, I think I actually have utilized all of her services, the tarot card reading, the breath work, and the Reiki. And I think one of the things that surprised me the most is during the Reiki session, she knew that I had injuries that I had never shared with her. I was like, what? And then she was able to tell me that my energy was off in certain areas of my body, and I had to confess, yes, I have hip injury or herniated discs in that area. She was able to pick that up without us ever discussing it. And there were other areas of my body from the Reiki session that she was able to pick up the energy. And I mean, I just was blown away because we had no discussion about any of my injuries or any of my traumas, and she picked them up in our session. So this is the real deal. And that's why we're having her at the Self Love and Sisterhood Summit. I just wanted to have her come on and share a lot about what breath work, how it benefits you, how it changes your life. What's the name of your company?
Sure. So my company is called Breathe, Connect, Thrive because I want you to breathe deeply, I want you to connect consciously, and I want you to thrive wholeheartedly. Like I really feel that we need that, and so that's why I named my company that name. It was a different name before, but now it's called Breathe, Connect, Thrive.
And I love it. And how can people connect with you if they're interested?
Sure.
What's your social media handles?
Breathe, Connect, Thrive. So you can Google Breathe, Connect, Thrive. You can DuckDuckGo Breathe, Connect, Thrive. You can Instagram Breathe, Connect, Thrive. You can check me out on Pinterest and YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. You can go on there. There's also some breathwork practices that I share. I also have a teachable school. So if you're not in Houston, or if you don't want to come into the studio, or you just want to, do breathwork at home, I do have a course that's available. My website is called Breathe, Connect, Thrive. I also do new moon breath work as well, where you get to set intentions, pull some oracle cards. But yeah, so you can find me, just Google Breathe, Connect, Thrive. All my sessions are by appointment, so check me out. And I do have a special promotion for all of the Sexy Diva World listeners. And so if you use the promo code TRANSFORM, the first 15 people will get 15% off on any of my services.
Yay! Thank you for offering us that, y'all. She's giving us some treats, some sweet treats. So I just want to thank you so much for coming and sharing your world with us. I'm so excited to connect with you. I'm so glad that we have this platform because we're totally connecting extraordinary women doing extraordinary, powerful things, all in the realm of transforming and creating a sexy diva world. So I want to thank you all for joining me. Remember, a sexy diva is a powerful woman being courageous, confident, operating her feminine energy, and creating a life that she loves, right? And if you want to check out the Sexy Diva World podcast, check us out on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram at Sexy Diva World. You can visit our website at sexydivaworld.com. And I know you guys connected with a lot because she gave you so much. So please share this episode with 5 friends so that we can have a transformative Sexy Diva World. If you want to transform your circle of women, have them transform through breath work. You guys can come to the summit together in sisterhood, and just having you transform, having the women in your circle transforms, creates a powerful circle of thriving, extraordinary women. So thank you for joining us, and we look forward to connecting with you in our next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Connected to this episode? Then join us. Let's build a sexy diva world together. Like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with 5 friends. Let's go.